Get cool stuff for what you were going to do anyway. Drink beer. With Buy Beer, Get Gear from Labatt, you can just snap a photo of your receipt and upload it to the website to rack up points for exclusive merch. Get points for every purchase, whether you're grabbing a pint on draft, a case for a party, or a tall boy at the stadium. Any size, any product, anywhere you buy Labatt. Buy beer, get gear. Sign up now at rewards.labattusa.com.
I have a list of guys I would never hang out with. Your name is right on the top.
Do you like the worst song bracket we're doing?
It's considerably better than the supplement bracket. Let's start with that.
I won a limbo contest.
Oh, my God.
Fran Brown joining us.
These guys are working their butts off. They expect to see that fame.
You want extra money just because you're North Carolina? I'm in all right
What
now.
an honor for you and Jordan to be next to me
every
daily.
day.
This is Orange Nation.
There's music, there's fun, there's us. It's everything you could want all in one place.
With Stephen Fonte and Paulie Sibilia.
Good afternoon, everyone. Glad to have you with us alongside Paulie Sibilia. I'm Stephen Fontes. We welcome you into a Wednesday edition of Orange Nation. ACC Media Days continuing down in Charlotte. Syracuse is set to talk right now. Fran Brown set to be at the podium for the next half hour or so, along with three of the players he brought with him. The one player that he brought with him not at the podium, Ricky Collins, has joined our show. We talked to him before the show started. We'll get to our full interview with Ricky Collins coming up here at 12:15. Dominique Darius, daughter of Donovan Darius. She plays for the SU women's basketball team. She will be here in studio with us at 1:30. Plus, we'll mix in your phone calls throughout at 315-437-7644. It's getting that time of year, Paulie, where we actually are going to start to have things to talk about on a daily basis.
Correct, Steve. And we're also running out of free time.
That is true.
We have our
as well.
vacation starting tomorrow.
That is true as well. Taking a few days off, yes.
Yeah, so, and then it's back to when you get back, it's just go.
Yeah.
Go, football.
Until the spring. Nonstop. Yeah. But no, I think we're ready to have some things to talk about. Bills report to camp today. There are several NFL training camps opening up across the country. And in about a week, the Syracuse football training camp will open. And today is a precursor to that. Again, Fran Brown and the Orange down at ACC Media Day in Charlotte, talking about the season ahead. And, the question everybody wants to know, Paulie, who is the starting quarterback? And, we certainly don't know the answer to that now. We may not know it until August 30th. Maybe we'll know prior to that. We'll see how Fran Brown decides to play it. Different coaches take different approaches when it comes to, naming that starter for the opener.
Yeah, and I think someone's going to have to earn it this summer. And I think we'll all find out together. I don't think there's going to be I don't think there'll be an announcement till week of game at least. It could be a game day announcement.
Yeah. And again, listen, we were asking back in the spring why Fran Brown named Ricky Collins the starter when he did. And he said, and we know how he feels about this. He said this last year with Kyle McCord, right? He said in terms of the pecking order of leadership within the program, it goes head coach, starting quarterback, and then, you get the assistant coaches and other players from there. But it starts with the head coach, and the starting quarterback is next in line. And so he wanted to name his starter. He wanted the guys to start following Ricky Collins in the spring. And then they went out and they added another quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see how Fran plays it. If, midway through camp, he feels like he's got his decision, maybe he announces it to the team but doesn't announce it publicly. Maybe he does announce it publicly. Maybe he keeps it close to the vest. There are a variety of ways that he could play this. And we have seen coaches go right up until kickoff, and you don't know until you see who trots out there first, with the first offensive possession. So, there are a variety of ways that he could play this.
Yeah, and it is kind of interesting, though, that if you are going to say your quarterback is right below the head coach and you name someone the starter, then you change it right at the start of the season, too.
I mean, at that time, he was the starting quarterback. He was the guy. And then for whatever reason, and again, maybe there'll be some clarity today, from Fran. He's been asked about it a little bit in the past, but, was it... He's certainly not going to say that it was Ricky Collins. I mean, Steve Angeli was available. They went after him and they got him. And you can't have too many good players in the program. And it is a good problem to have. Like to have two really good quarterbacks that are battling it out, that's a good problem to have. And so, his job is to make this team as competitive as possible. They went out and they got him. And now there's going to be a competition this summer to see who the starter is. So we will get to that Ricky Collins interview coming up here in about 10 minutes or so.
And we can't air it live because it's on ACC Network, but we will have the highlights of what Fran Brown has to say coming up later in the show.
We will. We will plan to do that at the top of hour number 2, 1 o'clock. We'll play back some of those comments. And I'm sure some of the comments will trickle out as we're on the air and we can discuss. Anything else that you're dying to know, other than the quarterback situation? I mean, anything else that, like if Fran Brown were sitting here right now, like anything else you'd be dying to ask him?
Just about this, he won't broach it, but I just want to be like, how are you preparing for this schedule? And, how do you get a team, if it's not going your way, if you lose to Tennessee, how do you keep them focused when you know that it potentially gets better as it goes deeper?
Yeah.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's hard to have, and we do this every year, right? We look at the schedule and we try to pick what the swing game is in the schedule. You could make a case that the swing game is the first game, which is that's unusual, right? Usually the first game is a game against somebody that you should beat. It's a tune-up game. It's an FCS opponent, or it's a lesser opponent. That's not the case this year. It's Tennessee right off the bat, and knowing what the conference schedule looks like away from home, and knowing what Tennessee's going through. And I saw a survey the other day about, who top 10 teams who had the worst offseason. And Tennessee was on that list of top 10 teams that had the worst offseason. So if you're going to get Tennessee and you're going to upset them, the first game might be the time to do it. So I think you could make a strong case that the swing game on this schedule is the first game, and that's usually not the case.
Yeah, and you're also going to learn if they've got a legit quarterback starting. If you struggle against Tennessee, I don't know what you could take away from it, but you got to grow. If you come out and you play good against Tennessee, that's saying a lot about your starting quarterback.
Yeah, and I think that if you're an SU fan, I think you have to hope that the decision is obvious by the time you get to the opener. I don't think you want to go into that first game, and we've seen this in the past, right, where previous coaches have put both guys out there, and the competition continued into the season. Like, I don't think you want that going into Tennessee. I don't think you want them both to get reps, and then it's, this is kind of a live audition type of thing. I think the ideal scenario is one of these guys is better than the other, and you pick him as your starter, and then, okay, he's your leader, everybody follows him, and off you go, and if he gets hurt, the other guy goes in. I don't think you want the competition spilling over into that opener.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. Yeah, you got to pick somebody, and you stick with them. You get through Tennessee, you got 2 games. If he struggles against them, you might have to make a change. But then you're also in a position, do you want to change your quarterback going into a Clemson game and you throw somebody else to the Wolves? Yeah, so you got to I think you've got to be 100% certain that he is the guy, whoever it is.
We're just receiving this from Tim Leonard. Again, as we're on the air, Fran is addressing the media. Fran, on why he brought in Angeli, quote, "For me, what stood out the most playing against Penn State when their quarterback went out, he went in, him being able to come in and take them down the field and give them that spark." That is a quote from Fran Brown on bringing in Steve Angeli. That's going to dominate the conversation today.
Yeah.
Because, it is the hot button topic of, all right, you brought in an LSU transfer quarterback. You named him the starter. He went through all of spring. Then he got hurt. Then you brought in another quarterback. What's going on? And he's going to be asked some semblance of that same question quite often today.
Yeah, and someone's going to ask him if it has had anything to do with the performance of Ricky Collins.
Right. Because it stands to reason, right? I mean,
yeah.
like from the outside looking in, it seems like, I think it's understandable to assume that they weren't 100% sold on Ricky Collins if they brought in another quarterback, right? Because if they were 100% sold on him, there would be no need to. So I don't know. You could also pitch it and say, listen, he was available, and you want to add depth. You want to have good players at every position, and you want to have backups, good backups at every position. But I think this is totally game on. You know my feeling on this. I think that, I think Steve Angeli has the edge, in my opinion. But Ricky Collins was here for the spring. He's obviously more familiar with the offense. He's worked with the players, the other guys on offense a little bit more, the receivers and whatnot. I think Steve Angeli probably has the edge at this point, but we'll find out.
All right, you want to take a quick timeout, and then we'll get to the Ricky Collins interview?
Again, we recorded it before the show. It was the only time he was available, so we'll play it back in its entirety, but we will do so on the other side. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
Radio 97.7, 100.1, 1200 AM and 1440 AM.
If he did get a cease and desist, they don't send those out unless they're pretty confident you said something that wasn't true or was... That's a problem. I had the newspaper reach out to me about a certain tweet he sent out that I could not verify. So I'm assuming that's what it was.
What happened?
Atan got a cease and desist. Yeah. I think if they didn't have it, I don't think that you got to be able to have the receipts of what you're saying. And you can't say somebody did something when it's not true, if that makes sense. You better be 100% factual and know it. That's all I'm saying. Govendo, you don't know if she is doing all the things that's being said about her. Just like I don't know if Weitzman's some evil dude either. Why does she sound not so pleasant? Maybe she's the reason we have 2 5-star quarterbacks competing for the QB right now. I don't have to say anything. Guys. I'm just telling you, you better have your facts straight if you're going to say something about somebody on Twitter who isn't a celebrity. I don't know them or Weitzman. I'm not choosing my words carefully. I do know for a fact he said something on that chat that even sparked the media's attention. And I can't verify it. Who's we? I'm just saying, just be careful what you put on Twitter, no matter who you are. Right, and thank you if you did.
What?
Talking to the kid.
You ready? You play it or they're going to play it?
There.
Okay.
We had to do a last-minute switch, Steve, on the artist of the day to remember the Prince of Darkness, one Ozzy Osbourne. This is called NIB, Nativity in Black, from Black Sabbath, his early years.
All right.
He's a great artist, Steve. I know you're.
I don't know much about him. I'll
which
be honest
is
with you.
impossible to me.
I mean, I've heard
as
him.
someone our age, I know so many people that had the Bark at the Moon poster on their wall.
Yeah.
Like, our heroes are dying. I know he wasn't one of yours, but he's 76. We're getting to that age. We're going to more funerals than weddings.
I know. Tell me about it. Way to bring the room down.
I didn't do it. Ozzy did it.
As promised, we spoke with Ricky Collins prior to coming on the air here. We're going to play the entire interview back for you. We started him off by, I asked him about his injury. I said the last time we saw you was the end of spring. You had an injury. You were held out of the spring game. I asked him if he's 100% going into summer camp.
Yeah, I am 100%. The injury was like a little knick-knack injury, but I came back. I'm 100% now with the team. Full throttle going, getting ready for camp.
Last time we saw you as well, you were listed as, QB1 on the depth chart. And since then, they've brought in another quarterback in Steve Angeli. How are you approaching going into camp? Are you going into it approaching it as though you're the starter? Are you going into it approaching it as though, you're in for a quarterback competition? How has it been articulated to you?
I'm going in approaching it as this competition because there's always competition in our program. I was named the starter, so obviously that's who I am, but it's always competition in the program. I mean, no one's spot is solidified, and it's always looking to do the best thing for the team.
One thing we hear all the time about Fran Brown from the players, from recruits and guys that, have been playing for him is that he's very upfront. He's very transparent. He's very honest. Can you speak to how it all went down with when they brought in Steve Angeli? Did he have conversations with you? What was said and kind of how was it pitched to you that they were bringing in another quarterback after the spring?
Yeah, he had a conversation with me. He talked to me about it, and then, like you said, he's very authentic. He's very truthful and honest. So he's going to tell you what he's going to do and how he's going to do it. And obviously, what he does is what he thinks is best for the team. So, like I said, I mean, he preaches to us and our culture that he's building. He's always competition, so can't shy away from it here.
Up until the injury, you had a chance to, work with the receivers, work with the offense, work with Jeff Nixon, learn the playbook. How was that process for you? How's that transition been coming from LSU to Syracuse, and how comfortable do you feel with the offense right now?
I feel very comfortable with the offense. Just constantly trying to get better and learn from Coach Nixon and Coach Cavanelli. Just constantly picking their brains about things I can get better at and ways I can go about reading things or just finding ways to get better with the team. So, I mean, ultimately, I feel I have a good grasp of the offense and very confident in myself that I will be able to play fast.
What led you to Syracuse?
Coach Fran, really, the coaches that he's building, and his mindset and my mindset, in my opinion, are very alike. Our end goal is want to win a championship, want to be best in our respective crafts. So I just want to be the best, and he wants to be the best. So I feel that we are going to push each other towards that.
Did the play of Kyle McCord and what he did at Syracuse help in the you coming here?
No doubt. Kyle did great things last season, and Coach Nixon and Coach Fran did a good job. The whole staff did a good job with Kyle. So seeing that, it gave me a tremendous amount of confidence to better come here and have good hope that I was better do good things as well.
Speaking of Kyle McCord, I know he was around a little bit during the spring. He had a lot of really positive things to say about you. What were your interactions with him like? Did he give you any sort of advice, any sort of tips on how to succeed at Syracuse and in this offense?
Really just the main thing he told me was just to keep being myself, just keep leading, and obviously stay in the playbook and keep learning and trying to find new ways to learn. So, but yeah, being able to pick his brain about things was good for me. You
said keep being yourself. Could you describe yourself to us? Give us a little scouting report of Ricky Collins, the football player.
Exciting, fun. I say. Probably, obviously a dual threat. I mean, explosive and just a playmaker.
Do you model your game after anyone, or what quarterback, I guess, would you say you're most comparable to, whether it's in the NFL or somebody in the college game?
I really don't know. I feel my passing ability is my strong suit, but I'm a great runner as well. So we have a lot of guys like that, but I feel the way I do it is different.
Getting back to the spring, I was asking you about working with Jeff Nixon and Nunzio Campanelli and that offense. What stood out to you from a personnel perspective with the guys that you're going to be throwing to and working with, the receivers, the tight ends, the running backs? What stands out to you about the offensive unit that you're going to be working with?
Really, the youth that we have, a lot of fresh legs, a lot of guys that can go. Obviously, we're very fast on the perimeter, and our backs can all go. So I think that's probably what I'm most excited about. Just have a lot of weapons and a lot of people that can go make plays.
You said that you're 100% coming back from the injury. How long have you been able to throw since the injury? And, what are some of the things you've been working on this summer and hope to continue to work on?
I started throwing probably after May. So June, so ever since June, I've been back. Things I've been working on, just timing with the receivers, really, just so we can be on the same page all the time, and the tight ends as well.
I got to ask you about this schedule. You guys are coming off a 10-win season, and this schedule is, we say it's brutal. I guess you guys would probably say it's challenging, right? All these top teams away from the Dome this year. What do you make of the schedule? And I guess how excited are you to, the first game is Tennessee, and you've got Miami away from home, and Clemson, and Notre Dame, and SMU. The list goes on and on. What do you make of this schedule, and how are you guys approaching it?
We're not really thinking about that right now, man. We're just preparing for the season the best way we know how to. We'll attack that challenge when it gets here, but they had to prepare for games just how we had to prepare for games. So when those teams come up that week, we'll prepare for that and we'll attack it that way.
Does it keep you, as a team, a little more focused, the fact that it's Tennessee, in a neutral site game to open the year, opposed to like an FCS opponent? Does it ramp up, I guess, the urgency as you guys start camp? Like there can be no wasted days or, wasted time because you got to get ready for a legit opponent right out of the gate.
No, I feel like that. I feel like as a team, Tennessee is a quality opponent, but I feel like the way Coach Fran is coaching us and instilling the way he's instilling the culture that we're trying to build, we're trying to attack everything the same way. And we want to go 100% no matter who we play. We want to give, if Tennessee all the way down to whoever, it can be a Pop Warner school, a team, we want to attack it the same way. We want to go and be 100% and be detailed in everything we do.
At this stage, you guys are getting ready to start camp in about a week or so. Can you speak to, I guess, your relationship with the other quarterbacks in that room right now? And how's everybody getting along? And how is the vibe in the QB room right now?
I feel that we definitely learn from each other. I say that I like that the most about each other. No one is prideful in the room. We all help each other with questions or answers to questions, or just if we need advice on anything, we go to each other willingly and not have to be embarrassed about it and better get an answer, or just even if learning something new from each other. We all do well with that.
Yeah, go ahead, Paul.
I was going to ask you, you're coming from LSU. Coach Brown was last at Georgia, and we get asked by the listeners all the time about SEC schools and the culture down there. Well, how does what Fran Brown's doing compare to the culture that you were at in LSU?
He's bringing, like you said, he's bringing that down south. He's bringing a lot of down south players up north, actually, and I like that. I like that a lot. Just giving that different swagger to the Northeast. I mean, that's what I think he's doing the most about just bringing this Southeastern Conference to the ACC. I mean, just bringing that swag and that competitiveness and that drive all the way here.
We got to talk to you a little bit back in the spring, but we don't really know you all that well. So when you're not playing football, Ricky, can you kind of give us an idea of who you are off the field, hobbies, interests, things you like to do when you're not playing football?
I like to shop. I actually like to shop. I mean, if I'm not shopping or just out eating, probably sitting back watching TV with my dog. So, I mean, not nothing too crazy, but I like to stay out the radar.
What kind of dog do you have?
I knew you were going to ask that.
You said what?
What kind of dog do you have?
I have a cane corso.
Oh, nice. And Are you one of those late night Amazon guys, or do you have to go out to like a mall or something?
It depends. I do a lot of online shopping. I mean, the mall is not too bad, but I like to get what I really want offline. So yeah.
That's right. You can get anything you want online.
Yeah.
Ricky, it's been a pleasure chatting with you here, and I know it's about time to get down to work, right? Preseason camp starting here shortly. Best of luck as camp gets started, and we look forward to talking with you again real soon.
Thank you.
All
Thank you for
right.
having me.
Thanks for coming on, Ricky. For the show, we'll have some comments from Fran Brown and the players coming up as the show moves along. We hope to play back some comments at 1 o'clock from Fran Brown.
It sounds like everybody's on the same page, Steve, that there's a competition at the quarterback position. And that's a good thing, and it sounds like everybody's getting along, and one of them will transfer at the end of the year. That's how it is nowadays.
That's what it feels like. But, I mean, I think he had all the right answers, and it sounds like Fran at the podium at ACC Media Day said, we've got a competition. We've got two really good quarterbacks that we feel good about, and as you would expect him to say. So you're right. It sounds like everybody's on the same page, and off they go. All right, we'll take a timeout. Phone line's open if you want to check in for the next hour. We've got Dominique Darius set to join us at 1:30, but up until then, 315-437-7644. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
Okay. One last thing on the whole cease and desist thing. I saw something in the chat, and as program director of the station, I can tell you it's not true. If it was said that Atan was pulled off the air by anybody, that didn't happen. That show, no matter who's hosted it, ends after the lacrosse Final Four every year, and then it comes back. And we used to do that with all of our shows. All of our shows used to end after the Final Four of lacrosse, and we'd come back 2 weeks before football. That show will come back. I don't know who will be on it.
Me included. I used to take summers off.
Yeah, that's not my call, but I would assume that was that. So yeah, nobody was caught off guard that show was ending. Cane Corsos are big, mean dogs. They'll eat you, Steve. I smell like chicken nuggets or something. You got chicken nuggets in your pockets?
I do not. Chicken nuggets.
Yeah, it's the kind of dog Ozzy would own, so Steve doesn't know it.
Well, I don't know, why is that, preposterous that I just don't know a lot about him. I don't know what to tell you.
I got a funny Steve story.
Yeah?
Yeah, so before the show,
I think it's funny?
He asked me to spell a word, so I spelled it into Twitter or into Google, and it came up. And he goes, "Are you sure there's not? That's right." I go, "No, Steve, everybody else is wrong. You're the one that's been spelling it right this whole time."
It was funny. That was funny. That was a funny comment by you.
You guys need to tune into that show too for it. For God's sakes, you guys all complain about it, but goddamn, watch it when it's on. Dylan Cease stinks. They should send him a cease and desist for pitching. He should cease to cease. I do remember Gary Karpinski. I used to work with him.
Gary, who's Gary Karpinski?
He was a DJ.
Oh.
I used to work with him. Nobody watched when it was Chris Joseph either. I had fun when I hosted with Chris and Devo the first year. Oh, the stories we told about like camps and whatnot. Oh, Lord. Maybe I'll do a show with Eric and just let Steve do a show alone. E and P. PE. We could call it PE. Polly and Eric. Most popular person first, of course. When Chris Joe told the story about when we were at camp and he army crawled across the bathroom floor with a BB gun and shot one of the managers while he was pooping, one of my favorite stories of all time. It will be brought to you by Napa next year, I promise you. Devo and Huggins, that would work. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Bob Huggins. That's my drunk person impersonation. Patino and Polly, that'd be a good show. PP. We can make promos that say, check out our PPs. You know this one, Steve? Did you play Guitar Hero? Yeah, you definitely did play Guitar Hero. Right?
I've played it a few times.
Did you ever play this?
No.
War Pigs?
No.
Do you know this one?
I do know. Yes, I've heard it. I just said I don't know a lot about him. That's all.
He's the Prince of Darkness.
Yes, I'm aware.
He's been arrested for peeing on the Alamo, Steve. He bit the head off of a bat. He had a TV show with his whole
wife.
family, yeah.
Yeah, right. I knew that.
He's very famous.
I know he's famous.
He has a stunning voice.
As the war machine keeps turning.
And I don't think you understand how good of a voice he has. I'm not even a huge Ozzy fan, but you're just ambivalence. Is that the word I'm looking for? It's crazy to me.
His music was just not my thing.
It wasn't mine either, but you couldn't avoid Ozzy Osbourne.
I didn't say I'd never heard of him. I just said,
I know, but he was on every radio.
Okay.
Like you tune into 93Q, you're going to hear Mama, I'm Coming Home.
Okay.
He's bigger than who? Oh, what's the deal with Ozzy? It's a dumb take. Normally, I'm the one with dumb takes. Yours.
I just said that it's not my his music is not my thing. That's it. That's all I said during the commercial.
I remember we used to yell "Bark at the Moon" all "Bark at the Moon," and I wasn't even an Ozzy fan. I knew what it was.
Okay,
the show's going off the rails.
No,
it's a crazy train.
No, it's not. That
was an Ozzy joke.
I know. We're gonna talk football though. We're not gonna let it go off the rails. We got a couple of callers here who want to check in. Let's go to the phone lines. Drew in Syracuse kicking us off. Hey, Drew.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Not much.
I'm going to say this, two things, but if you give me a little bit to expand. But somehow I think Steven, and that was a great interview with the kid from
Collins.
Syracuse.
Ricky Collins, yeah.
Ricky Collins. I'm sorry, but yeah, great interview.
Thank you.
But somehow, I don't think Syracuse brought in Steve Angeli to not be the starting quarterback. But what I'm going to say about this is, if Steve Angeli can't be the guy that we thought he was going to be, I think we are in good hands with Ricky Collins. Like, I do think he's smart and intelligent and everything that we would want from a quarterback. But then I'm going to say this to Paulie. Paulie, I love AC/DC and Black Sabbath and everything. I'm sorry poor Steve doesn't understand all that.
Yeah, he doesn't.
Steve is a good guy.
Yes, he is. He was going to Bishop Ludden in Catholic schools while we were all
I know,
we were
Paulie,
all
I know. And you,
lighting things on fire listening to
but
Ozzy.
if I'm not mistaken, you went to Bishop Grimes, right?
No,
Or
I went to West Hill.
West Hill.
Yeah.
That's who it was,
Yeah.
West Hill. But
I went to the
I'm sorry,
I went to the
Paulie,
School
but
of Satan with all our Ozzy listeners.
it's not the School of Satan, but guys, I enjoy your show. Thank you for everything. You guys make my life better, and I think you make a lot of people's life better.
I agree with you.
Thank you.
I have that effect on everyone.
Appreciate you saying that,
Drew.
Drew. Thanks for checking in.
Do I make your life better, Steve?
Some days no, some days yes.
Yeah, I think they would. If you tried to, like, they didn't have metal detectors at Ludden when you walked in. They had Ozzy detectors, and if you walked in with a cassette, they would tase you and throw you back out of school.
Confiscated.
Yeah.
Scooter and Jamesville up next. Hey, Scooter.
Hey, guys. Hey, Paul, first, good sequence at 3 a.m. And Sunny 102 starting out Bon Jovi and even that little Matchbox 3 a.m. song. It was excellent.
Anytime.
So-
Do it all for you, bro. Making life happy.
Before I talk football, you guys, I mean, at the end of your show, I thought I was heading toward the cliff. But, so, Paul, I wanted to make sure you would go to jail for $5 million.
For a year.
Was that what I heard?
For a year. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. No questions
Okay.
asked.
Well, is it sort of like the Robin Concord from Cheers jail where he was playing tennis at Club Fed for every day?
No, it's not a federal prison, even if it's a low security. It's just a jailhouse. You're going to the public safety building if you're in Syracuse. You know, it's jail for a year. So you're probably gonna probably see a bunch of different people coming in and out, and you'll be in your own cell. And yes, for $5 million, I would do it.
Okay. Now, Steve, would you eat nail for $5 million?
Well, yes, I would do that.
Okay.
If
All
we're
right,
being
then.
honest, I could suck it up for $5 million. Yes.
All right.
Would
Mayonnaise cake, we'll send it in.
Okay, would you take a job for $5 million that was just sit in a room for a year?
No, but it's more than that, Paulie, because with a job, you get to go home. With a job, you get to have vacation. With
Not
a job, you get to
necessarily.
see your family.
Some-
No, come on. No,
You can see your family in jail. They can come see you.
But it's not the same.
You put your hand on the glass for Kim, and you go, $5 million, baby. Hang in there. 11 more months.
Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you.
Now, as far as football goes, I'm glad you guys have come around. I mentioned way back when you guys were talking schedule, I thought Tennessee with their problems too. It's almost like it's almost like mirror image quarterbacks. And at the end of the year, they were in the playoffs, but I thought that they were going to regress a little bit this year because of all the players they lost from last year. And we didn't expect the quarterback to hold out for $5 million. I guess he's at UCLA now, I think. But this is an interesting game, and I agree. I think it's a swing game. But the point is that with the way that things are done, I mean, we don't know how great teams are until game 1 or game 2. I mean, look at Florida State last year. I mean, they win 2 games, and they thought they had their quarterback. So it'll be interesting to see after 1 or 2 if our teams we think are tough are going to be like that. But I think that we have enough games at home, and the Tennessee is technically a road game, I guess, right? I mean, it's a neutral site. That this is a swing game, and we'll just see. I think you guys are right on. I mean, unfortunately, it's the first game, but yet it's the first game for them too. So we'll see. But I still think over 5.5. Paulie. Don't bet the farm, Paulie. I mean, but if you just want to bet maybe the lambs or the pigs, then you can go for that.
Appreciate you checking in, Scooter.
Bet the pigs. That's going to be my next shirt I'm going to get made.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, again, the more we look at it, the more we look at the season, I'm a Scooter. It feels like the opener is a swing game that, the season could go one of two directions based on the outcome of that one. You win that one, you're looking at 3-0 going into Clemson. You lose that one. If it's competitive, okay. If you get blown out, then I think you're gonna be questioning yourself a little bit as you go into the tougher part of the schedule.
I feel like this is the last day of school before summer vacation right now.
Why is that?
I just want to be nonsensical. Now I want to ask you another question. Okay, if you can't do prison, $5 million, you have to live in a Walmart, same Walmart, for a year. Can't leave the Walmart. They close, you're in there.
Yeah, I could do that.
What's the difference?
Well, is your family with you, or you're there by yourself?
You're by yourself.
And you get to see other people. Like I don't know.
I think I'd rather be in prison
than Walmart. And you're not going to be harmed in Walmart. Like you're not.
No, but I think I'd rather do the jail because then you get set meals and you got a shower.
You would get meals at Walmart. You would get to shower there.
Where are you going to shower at Walmart?
Well, if there's no shower,
bird bath. You're going to take a bird bath. And
that's a deal breaker then. If there's no shower,
why would there be a shower in Walmart?
It's a good point. I don't know. I got to think about it more.
All the people coughing and sneezing on you all day. Nope. No kids running around screaming.
Like, that's not sitting in a cell, like, locked up by yourself, though. Like, you're among other people.
Yeah.
And, like, you could literally spend the whole day with your family. They just have to leave it closed and then you have to sleep. That's different.
Your family can't come and hang out.
Why not?
Day. They have jobs.
I mean, like, my kids could come and, like, just hang out at Walmart all day. We could play. We could play in the toy section. Ride bikes. We could, You can watch movies. You can listen
do
to
all
music.
that in jail too. Get your own TV.
I don't know. Walmart's got everything you need. Apparently, except for a shower.
You get better health care in prison too.
Why are you so obsessed with this topic?
I'm just trying to figure out what it would take for you to just get out of your comfort zone for $5 million. I don't see why. If someone dies and you got to leave, you're out. You're out of your $5 million. It's part of the deal. But I would just stay because I think everybody in my life would be like, come to my grave later. You're getting $5 million. Go. I feel like my family would be cheering me on.
Are they getting some of the money?
No, it doesn't matter. No, okay. I think that they would be cheering me on to be successful. I think they'd want the best for me. And if getting beaten by a sock full of rocks every day by another prisoner gets me $5 million, I'm willing to do it.
Okay. Well, we're different apparently. I think we knew that. I don't know. I wouldn't give up a year of my freedom for that.
Ryan says you can bring Indy. She could stay at my sister's for a year. That's a part of life.
How old is she?
11.
Yeah. I mean, there's a chance you will never see her again.
Yeah, and there's a chance I'll have $5 million when I get out. Thank you. I don't think there's any way I say no to that. You think I would go crazy in solitary confinement?
I think you would.
I think solitary confinement sounds beautiful.
For maybe 2 days.
Oh.
You would be so over it after a couple days.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't think I would because I'd know, hey, if I do this 300 and some odd days more, I would.
You talk a good game, but if this were actually a thing, I don't think you would do it. I really don't.
Steve, I will pack my bags now and go if somebody can make it happen.
Can we make it happen? Can we make it happen?
Yes, tax-free, $5 million under the table.
Social experiment.
No, I would not eat that, Michael Antonio.
All right. Let's take a timeout.
Time to find out the diamonds and dogs.
Yes, we've got
I could buy lots of diamonds and dogs.
We've got our daily call from Lee Baldwin and company coming up on the other side. We'll wrap up hour number one. Dominique Darius from the SU Women's Lacrosse team at 1:30. Back after this on ESPN Radio.
Oh, yeah. I would write with poop on the wall. That's fine. I'd have a psychotic breakdown, and then I'd have $5 million after. Buy my psych meds. No, we're going to do that at the top of the hour. Mlisty. You can call me Poop Casso. Pablo Poop Casso. I'll draw all over the wall on it for $5 million. Poop Casso. Poop Casso.
I'm gonna check out here
What do you think of my new nickname? Poop Casso. Paulie Picasso. Look at how funny I am, even during a horrific breakup, Steve.
Was it horrific?
Yeah, it's not fun.
This just happened?
Happened while we were on the air on Monday.
What?
I got that we need to talk text while we were on the air Monday. So no, it's all right. As soon as you get the we need to talk, yeah, it's over. It's over. So, it's over. Now I got to go find some new poon. Then I can be Poon Casso. That's a better one to be than Poo Casso. It wasn't dumped. It was just, hey, we need to talk. That text came at 1:45. FaceTimed. Yeah, like we're still going to be friends. It's just I got to get over it. I'm not a dick. It was basically friends with benefits, but I got too cozy. It's my own fault. My own fault. $100 days in a plane straight, I would do that for $2.5 million. Right. Oh my God. I'd jump out the window if that was true. No, we talked it out. It's fine. It is fine. I do all right with the ladies, guys. I'll be okay. They'll be lined up in no time. I'll be slaying. It's just the second time she did it to me, so I should have known after the first time. I'm a glutton for punishment. I don't want your check, Michael Antonio. How's Steve's love life? Boss Sandwich wants to know. Come on, we're opening up, Steve.
I told you I'm checking out.
Would you rather talk about me painting and poop on the wall or your love life?
I'm checking out.
What about 100 days of fighting a kangaroo to start your day? Do any fornicating? Steve does it like the Amish. Through a sheet. He is married. I'll try that. Hello, I'm Pablo Puncaso. I'll put that as my name on Tinder, Puncaso. Steve's even laughing at this, guys. Oh, that's a good point. You on a jail mattress would ruin you. I think this one was on Guitar Hero too. Another classic from the late great Ozzy Osbourne. Bark at the Moon, Steve.
All right, and let's get to our phone lines and bring on Mike from Lee Baldwin and Company. Mike, how you doing today? How's the market doing?
Good, thanks. The guys are doing well here. We are sad about Ozzy Osbourne ourselves. That was a big topic of discussion yesterday and this morning, so prayers are out to him. But the markets are following through with a good gain. The Dow's up almost 400 points. We've had a lot of good earnings led this morning by AT&T, Boston Scientific, Freeport McMoran. So it's all about earnings right now. One that did come in a little weak is Texas Instruments. That's a semiconductor stock, and it's trading down $25 to $190 a share. So that's leading some weakness in the chip companies. But overall, a very good day in the market, and we're looking forward tonight to earnings from Google and Tesla, which will probably dictate how tomorrow trades. So pretty good day going so far. Typical summer trading, a little slow, a little quiet, but we'll take it.
I just learned that Texas Instruments still exists, and I had no idea. They used to do calculators and computers for
That's right. They've been
Radio
around
Shack.
for a long time. They sell a lot to the auto industry now. A lot of the semiconductors and autos come from Texas Instruments.
Interesting. All right, Mike, good stuff. Appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Mike from Lee Baldwin and Company. Lee Baldwin, all the diamonds, none of the dogs. Visit them on the web at leebaldwin.com.
Look at Texas Instruments re-imaging itself in order to
Pivoting.
survive. Yes.
The new normal.
Yeah. They
Texas
went from
Instruments.
calculators and computers at Radio Shack to conductors.
Yeah. How about that?
Fascinating.
Yes. Who knew? See, we learned something.
And even the money nerds were talking about Ozzy, Steve, unlike you.
No, we were talking about it. I mean, it was, again, I told you that we had like a retrospective piece on his life. And
you didn't.
On Channel 9. No, I'm saying Channel 9 did. So it was, I mean, you couldn't get away from it yesterday. That's all. He wasn't in my wheelhouse.
Yeah, I get that. He wasn't in mine either, but I don't know how you don't know all of his music.
I've heard several of his songs. I would not consider myself a fan, though. That's all.
All right, we got audio from one Fran Brown coming up in a little bit, Steve. Do you have anything you would like to hear from him? That
apparently he talks about he talks about the tight end position, from what I understand, and had a lot of
big shoes to fill
positive
there.
things to say about Dan Villari and Jamie Tremble. So we'll get those comments. Again, the quarterback situation is what everybody wants to know about, and it sounds like he said exactly what you would expect him to say. We've got two good options. We like our quarterback room. We've got a competition. And that's what he should say. And that's what everybody should be saying right now.
I was offered a pair of tickets to give away on the air today, and this is a wild one, Steve. The ticket window brought to you by Charles Heating, Plumbing, and Electrical. This is in Steve's wheelhouse, actually. If you would like to go see Color Me Bad with opening act All for One at Sharky's on Friday. Color Me Bad and All for One. Now, you're in 1989, 90, 91, 92, and these tickets are available. I'm going to that.
That's my wheelhouse,
I also know Ozzy Osbourne. So if you would like to go to that, I didn't even tell the people out at the desk I was doing this. Be the fifth caller, 315-437-7644. If you'd like to go see the singers of I Want to Sex You Up, I Adore Me More, I Swear by All for One. Some bangers.
Yep, no doubt. Okay. All right. Shall we hit a timeout here?
Sure. And we'll come back and we'll do the...
We'll hear from Fran Brown.
Correct.
He addressed the media about a half hour ago. And again, Syracuse down in Charlotte for ACC Football Media Day. The conference is so big they split it up into 3 days and give a handful of teams their own day. And Syracuse is down there today. So we'll hear from Fran Brown on the other side. Hour number 2 kicks off next on ESPN Radio.
I think this is the first time we've ever been ahead of time on this show.
Yeah, I figured there wasn't much to do there, so might as well.
You guys can just give it to caller 1. Get an email address from them. I get it. I'll probably go to that concert
Yeah?
now that I'm on the hunt for Poon. I feel like there'll be some old ladies rolling around there, if you know what I mean. Some ladies my age kicking around at the old Color Me Bad. It'd be nice if the Padres could hit the baseball.
No hits through 3 innings.
Correct.
Not great, Bob.
Yeah, I'll drop that line on him. I'll be like, hey, I'm Poon Casso. I want to sex you up. Steve once went to confession and the priest confessed to him. Are you still complaining about the Boeheim's Army game? It's time to let it go. That had like a 15-minute shelf life. Like, I thought about this last night when I saw Ozzy passed away. That, like, I've said this on the air, I got like 20 some odd years left in my life. I'm not getting mad over a basketball game, especially the TBT.
Bam's Army, yeah.
Like, I'm not getting mad anymore. Just put your life in perspective. Did I cry about what? Boeheim's Army's loss? I haven't cried in my life. Okay, where are they? ESPN producer shared. Jordan opens them for me remotely, unlike Tim Leonard, who's lazy. Yeah. Yeah, we get it. ACC, what? Oh. Jordan opens for me. Tim Leonard is lazy. Jordan, come back. Okay. Could you guys maybe delete all this audio out of here too? Oh, for God's sakes. I don't know what they've done. I'm going to hope it's every other one. You guys, I don't know which ones to open. Let's go. Let's hope that's right. All right, I did it. That was crazy. Trying to have less dead air today, Steve, than I had yesterday. I was not on my game yesterday. Shot in the dark from Ozzy, remembering him on this day. And it just stopped. Okay.
An abrupt end to that song. All right. As promised, we plan to hear from Fran Brown now. He addressed the media about a half hour ago down in Charlotte at the ACC Football Media Days, day 2 of that event. Let's start with what everybody's been talking about, the quarterback position, the quarterback battle. He addressed the quarterback situation in his opening statement.
Very thankful to just be in this conference, right? For me, it's a conference of quarterbacks. For us, having the opportunity right now of having 2 really good quarterbacks, right? Having a chance to compete, that means a lot to us. A bunch of preeminent players throughout this conference that are truly good and that can play on our football team and amongst the other teams.
It is a conference of quarterbacks this year. You've got Cade Klubnik at Clemson. You've got Haynes King at Georgia Tech. You've got Carson Beck down at Miami now. Kevin Jennings back at SMU. You know, it's you need a good quarterback to win in major Division I college football. They had one last year in Kyle McCord, and they hope that they've got one this year in either Steve Angeli or Ricky Collins.
That's after losing like this. It was a quarterback conference last year,
sure,
too.
Right.
You know?
Yeah,
it's crazy. Cam Ward, Kyle McCord gone,
right?
But and I think Syracuse is in the one team that's in a position of question marks more than anybody.
Yeah. Some teams have more question marks than others. And, Syracuse lost a lot. There's no doubt about it. They lost a lot of talent to the next level. They lost, some talent to the portal. But they've also got some talent back, and they went in the portal themselves. So you're right. They've got a lot of question marks, but I think more and more with the transfer portal era and the NIL era, this is what you can expect going into a new year is a lot of question marks, and we'll see how it shakes out. We mentioned this at the top of the show when we were talking with Ricky Collins. Fran Brown did address what stood out to him about Steve Angeli and why he brought him in.
I think when he got a chance to play in that bowl game last year, he did a good job and led them to a victory. But then for me, what stood out the most was Notre Dame's last year making that run, playing against Penn State when that quarterback was out, and he went in to have a guy just be able to come in with so much poise, so much leadership, seeing the team be behind him being able to take them down the field and score. I felt like that led to that spark. For us, it's competitive all over, all right? No one's safe, right? For us, everybody's competing to play at every single position. We have guys that can compete to play. So if you decide not to compete that day, you might not be in the position you're in that day the next day.
It's a no-brainer for Fran Brown. I mean, he's talking about what Steve Angeli was able to do in a relief role. And so at the very least, you bring him in to be a backup to Ricky Collins if Ricky Collins wins the job. And on the high end of the spectrum, Steve Angeli turns into be your better quarterback and he wins the job. So I think from a Fran Brown and a program perspective, it's a no-brainer. You bring him in if you can, and you let the competition take care of itself.
Yeah. And it's good to hear there's competition, that he feels comfortable that there's competition at every position, because I feel like that was one hurdle that Dino couldn't get over. It was one good player and then nobody else.
That's
and
fair.
if you lost that one player, there may have been a competition, but the drop-off was huge.
That's fair. Yeah, I think that's certainly one way to look at it. And some of it was, that was early on in the NIL era, and I think we're seeing that there have been more resources dedicated to that. Again, it's not an excuse for Dino, but, I think that he will say that, some of his best players left, right? And, why did they leave? Various reasons, but I'm sure money had something to do with it. And now that doesn't seem to be as much of an issue or an issue at all currently. It's an issue to some degree, but you know what I mean. Michael Antonio in our chat says, is it possible Fran goes with both QBs in the Tennessee game if one of them is struggling? We touched on this earlier in the show, Paulie, and I really think that it's a dangerous thing, right? I think you want to have your starter. You want it to be known to everyone who the starter is. You want it to be obvious. You don't want to have that competition spill over into the season. I think it's dangerous to, and we've talked about this with the basketball team in the past, if you pick a starter and then he's going up against Tennessee and things aren't going well, and then midway through the game you take him out and you put the other guy in, I think that sends mixed signals to your team. You obviously want to win the game, but then you run the risk of what do you do? Now, if you're willing to go to that backup and then the backup's going to be the starter next week, that's one thing. If your hope is that you get through that game and you go back to the starter, you might mess with him a little bit mentally. So I think it's possible, but I think it's certainly not ideal. You want one guy to win the job, and you want to go into that game and he take all of the meaningful snaps.
Right, and I think that whoever starts is starting through the Clemson game. That's when you would have to make a decision if he's your guy or not. 'Cause you've got 2 power opponents and 2 games that are very winnable. And if you're not getting it done, then you might make a change. And you're also hoping that, as crazy as it sounds, that you want to be able to have a guy that if you do bring him in, you don't skip a beat.
Well, right, and I think that's one. We just heard it from Fran Brown. That was one of the things that attracted him to Steve Angeli, is that he was the backup. He came in and he didn't skip a beat. He was able to run the offense and run it successfully. You say that whoever they pick is definitely going to go through the Clemson game. I think there is a scenario in which if that person struggles miserably against Tennessee, and then even if they beat UConn and Colgate, but the quarterback doesn't look great, the offense doesn't look great, maybe you do surprise Clemson with the other guy comes in and tries to provide a spark. Now,
I wouldn't throw a guy out there against Clemson game 1. That's got Purdue written all over to Joe Field.
It could, yeah.
I would go, you got one power game, couple games against teams that you could beat, get better. Show me what you're doing against Clemson.
Okay. I understand the philosophy there. I'm just saying that could be one way to try to catch Clemson off guard. Again, if the offense has been, if it has not met expectations, you could potentially approach it that way, but hopefully the offense will meet expectations. We touched on this earlier as well, that he did mention the tight end position. They're losing a great one in Aronde Gadsden. Dan Villari's there. Jamie Tremble is there. Here is what Fran Brown had to say about the tight ends.
Jamie's doing a really good job, but Aronde will be replaced by Dan Villari and then a bunch of other guys, right? So Dan's the guy that's going to step up into that role and be able to play that role, and he's working. Aronde is a guy, right? Aronde will never just be replaced by one person, but we feel when it comes to the work ethic, the mindset, the ability to make guys miss, to run after the catch, we think Dan Villari is the guy to step into that role and be able to do that. We think Jamie's doing a hell of a job. He's working his butt off. Anytime you see guys working at practice, you'll catch Dan and him together, right? But Jamie's doing an outstanding job, and I think you guys will like the roles that you see him in this year. When you watch him play a little bit of football, he'll be moving all over the field.
It sounds like he likes that tight end position a lot. I hope we get to see more Dan Villari. I'm not sure there's a young man that works harder than him, and he's kept the right attitude. Playing time was hard to come by. He transferred here. He was willing to switch positions. He was willing to listen, whatever you need. Oh, you don't have a quarterback? I'll run this makeshift offense for a little bit. I'll be a tight end. What do you need me to do? And it would be great to see him, flourish and thrive in this offense.
We saw him when he had the ball in his hands with when Dino was here. He's dangerous. He's fast. Yeah. He's strong.
He's versatile.
But he's also was at a position where Fran says, everybody plays unless the guy's going to play on Sundays, and there was a guy playing on Sundays in front of him last year.
Yeah, there was a guy in front of him that might be starting this year as a rookie on Sundays. Aronde's been that good.
And Fran literally worded it that way.
Yeah.
If someone's playing on Sundays that I know it, that guy's playing.
Yeah.
And we heard it from Coach Boeheim all the time. You play your best players.
Let's get one more in from Fran. This is Coach Fran talking about the opportunity in the opener against Tennessee in Game 1.
Blessed to be able to play in such a prestigious venue, right, against a blue blood of college football. They've been doing well for years, right? Got a cousin that played there that I watch, and just, all the way back to Reggie White. So we get a chance to go and play against Tennessee. We're thankful. Our team's excited. We're thankful, but we're just working daily because – man, Tennessee, a good program. They're a good team. They play in the playoffs. We get a chance to go out and compete against them. We just want to make sure we look the way we want to look and we're supposed to look when you go play against a team of that caliber, because they usually blow everybody out in the beginning of the year and do those things. So we just blessed to have an opportunity to play against them.
You know, I asked the question earlier to Ricky Collins about does it keep you more focused? And, you know, he had a good answer. He's like, you know, listen, we're focused no matter what. That's what Fran Brown preaches. I have to imagine, though, that it does keep everybody on, I don't want to say on edge, but there is a little bit more urgency when camp starts, when you're opening with a marquee opponent like that. I guess my point is I think the coaches have everybody's attention right out of the gate when the first opponent is Tennessee and it's not like Colgate.
Yeah, but we also have heard Fran say you got to win each day.
No, I know. I get that.
I think no matter who's on the...
We're human beings, though.
Well, yeah.
And I think if you're getting ready for Tennessee opposed to getting ready for, you know,
it's just like
Colgate,
when we ask the basketball coaches and the players if they realize that they got to win a game because their, you know, NCAA tournament berth is at stake. Yeah, they know it, but I think they're trying to block that out from people.
And I get that. I think that it's human nature to get a little bit more amped up for Tennessee in Atlanta than it would be, you know, Colgate in the Dome. And when it's the first game, I think that helps, you know, push everybody through camp. You know, maybe when you're tired, you'll get that extra rep in, or you'll go a little bit extra harder, or, you know, little extra pep in everybody's step getting ready for a marquee opponent in the opener. I think that has to help as the coaches. All right, 315-437-7644. If you would like to give us a call, we've got today's business coming up on the other side, and then Dominique Darius from the SU women's basketball team is coming into our studio coming up at 1:30. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
Think Siena will be one of the last two games announced? Oh, shit. I sent email to ESPN National last night. I need a response from They are finally putting a name that people recognize on ESPN Radio. Rich Eisen. It's going to be on. But he's going to be on noon to 3. So we're going to air him 2 to 5. So we'll tape it and air it 2 to 5. Going it into
football as well.
I don't know as of right now, but it's better than what we're doing now. Yeah. I mean, they've gone away from having anybody recognizable.
Yeah, right. Oh, sorry. I came in quickly and threw everything down. Yeah.
Guys, it's gonna run.
No, we didn't.
T-Takes, when you say BP order, do you mean Brooklyn Pickle? Is that what BP would stand for?
They're coming to Marshall Street.
They are coming to Marshall Street. If you want my Brooklyn Pickle order, I go half a turkey on wheat with lettuce and honey mustard and pickles on the side.
Boring.
That's my Brooklyn Pickle sandwich. I don't do cheese. No.
You don't do cheese?
No.
Kind of life.
I do a similar order.
I have high cholesterol, so I watch the cheese intake.
Yeah.
Spatch. I'm going to yell at the chat right now. Radio is brutal. Being in the media is brutal. People get fired. I know I'm going to show up one day and they're just going to be like, yes, we are going national on everything. It's just the business now. It's brutal. It's brutal. It's nothing anybody did. It's not one person. It's not one person just firing people because they want to fire people. It's the business. It's tough. I mean, every year you see it's usually one day there's just like a Black Monday where everybody gets dumped at ESPN or Yahoo Sports, It's just a business. Rat Boy. Wait, you don't do cheese. Your name's Rat Boy. You've got some explaining.
High cholesterol.
Oh, you had to cut it out.
Yeah.
Okay, that's the important questions asked by our chatter. Phenomenal. It's time for, this is No More Tears, Steve.
I've heard the song.
No more crying over Boeheim's Army. There's somebody in our chat just blathering around about how the Boeheim boys don't play defense. I can't. Ozzy was, 76, I think they said he was, which was shocking to me that he made it that far. The whole thing of that means I got 23 years left if I make it as long as Ozzy. I am not going to be mad about how the Boeheim brothers played in a TBT game that was broadcast on Yahoo, on AOL. Come on.
It was on Fox Sports too, I believe.
Yeah, come on. I'm just putting it in perspective for people. A little hyperbole.
It's taking creative license.
I also, out of all the players to get mad at,
Buddy Boeheim.
Yeah, he was good. They just didn't get him enough looks, probably.
Yeah, it's just, come on, move on. Go mow your lawn. Go spend time with your kids. Enjoy your life. Don't let the defensive performance of Boeheim's Army just, if you wanted to come in today and talk about something that was relevant in sports, I would be okay with it. The quarterback position at Syracuse. That's what we're talking about. And nobody's angry about it, but breaking down players' defense in a TBT game is wild to me. It brings me back to Dante Green got crushed because people thought, the Boeheims were, I literally said this after, the Boeheims were the problem. Elijah Hughes fell apart.
Yeah, he did. He did not play well.
In the Elam ending.
Yeah.
Tim, you were there. It was.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Of all the players, I mean.
And he apologized on Twitter. I feel horrible for him about.
He admitted it. Yeah, I thought Jameel Wilson didn't play great. I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. The entire team didn't play great, really, but Buddy was not the scapegoat in my eyes, or Jimmy, for that matter.
For sure. All right, time for today's business. Who's it brought to us by?
Superior Plus Propane. So I guess we can touch on this a little bit. They added another game to the schedule. Stonehill, the men's basketball team, will be playing.
Oh.
Yeah, not ducking anyone. They got Stonehill on the schedule.
Where's Stonehill, Steve? Anybody know?
I think it's
in Massachusetts.
Yeah, I think it's in the Boston area, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, 312 on the net rankings last year.
Yeah, I actually didn't even know if they had a net ranking last year. I think this will be their second year in the Division I. They are recently added to the NEC conference, so the conference that Lemoyne is in, and Mercyhurst that is also on the schedule.
I think it might be their. Is it their first? I think it might be their first full year.
So
if I'm not mistaken.
I thought it was their first full year too, and then I looked up net rankings from last year, and they had a net ranking.
All right,
I
so
think
could be
playing an
wrong.
actual Stone would be more difficult than beating Stonehill.
It is. It is in Massachusetts.
Okay.
Okay. When did Stonehill go Division I? It was recent.
Very recent, whatever it was.
Who's the most famous alum from Stonehill?
I know this. Mario mentioned it yesterday. Who the heck was it? Oh, Ed Cooley went to Stonehill.
Oh, okay.
That's who it was.
That makes
I
sense.
don't know if he's the most famous, but Mario mentioned that in the office.
Ed Cooley, he went there. I'm looking.
Oh, Stonehill's been since 2022. So there you go.
Okay.
So it's been a few years.
And Mercyhurst is on the same timeline as Lemoyne as well. I think this is their second year in Division I and the NEC. They're going to play Mercyhurst on December 17th. I guess the takeaway here, and when you line up the schedule, we're getting to the point where we pretty much know what the schedule is. And there's really just going to be one stretch that is very tough, where to me they're going to have to get one or two wins in that stretch, whether that's St. Joe's before they start the Players era. I think you want to get at least one win in the Players era, and maybe that is in the third game because Houston and Kansas are so tough. You also got Tennessee in that stretch, but the schedule is pretty much like ease into the Players era schedule and the Vegas games and Tennessee, and then sort of ease out of it. And it's kind of an interesting cadence to it this year, I'd say.
Yeah, and I think that we're seeing that they have taken what they've learned the last few years from the net rankings, and I think we clearly are seeing that there is a philosophy shift with who they're playing, and they're playing the marquee games, but then they're playing these teams. Again, you brought up the net rankings from last year, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the opponents were over 200 or higher, or lower, I guess you would say, 200 or lower in the net ranking last year. So they're playing those teams. They're hoping they go out and they smash them. They, help their efficiency numbers. And then, their other games, you split them. If you take those other 6 and you go 3-3, I mean, I think people would sign up for that in a heartbeat.
Let me ask you gentlemen a question. All right. So I'm looking right now. They got 5 games that I think potentially are quad 1 games. I don't know what St. Joe's will be, but I'm going to say if it's a neutral site.
Those 5 in a row,
yeah.
you're saying.
Yeah, but just 5 at all. That's 5 in the whole.
No, I know, but I'm saying they're all in a row.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how many of those do you think they have to win to be on the bubble going into the ACC tournament or the play?
Going into like January 1st?
Yeah, into ACC play, where would you, let's start with how many wins would you, 5 obviously you would be the most comfortable, but how many wins would you feel most comfortable that it's a tournament team heading in, saying you beat all of the others going into the ACC schedule?
I think if they go 2-3 during that stretch, I think you can make a case for they could get there. I think if they go 3-2, you'd feel really good about it.
Yeah.
If you go 1-4 and the one win is St. Joe's, I think you would feel like you're, as you said last year, behind the 8 ball. I think you would feel behind if you get 1, maybe on pace-ish if you get 2. You'd feel really good if you get 3.
Yeah. So I think I'd be comfortable 3 saying they're a tournament team. 4 and 5, you're really happy.
Yeah.
Really happy.
Definitely.
2, you're on the bubble.
Yeah. I think 2, you feel like you could get there.
Yeah.
I think it's possible they come out of the non-conference schedule. Say they just lose to Houston and Kansas because that's what they'll be projected to do. Then that last game in Vegas will be against another team that went 0-2 in the first 2 games. So I don't know if it's going to be a landmark win per se. So they might come out of the non-conference schedule and we're just sort of like, they're in an okay spot. And then from there, it just comes down to your conference play. And
you really want 3 wins.
Well, that's why I said 3, because 3 means you had to have beaten either Houston, Kansas, or Tennessee.
Yes.
And if you get one of those, I think you feel like, okay.
Because if you walk out of there with a St. Joe's and then they put you up against an 0-2 San Diego State team.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So you're in trouble.
But I mean, even going to Drexel, winning that game, beating St. Joe's, like that's not nothing.
No.
I mean, those are going to
Drexel
help
will be
you.
a quad 2 probably, right?
Yeah. And who knows? I mean, Binghamton, we don't know a date for yet. That should, in theory, be an easy win. They're probably looking
I would
at.
assume that's a November game.
Right. I think we're looking at probably 2 games ahead of Drexel because it should be an earlier start this year. I believe the first game is November 3rd or the 4th. So you're probably looking at 2 games before Drexel, and that's kind of what the schedule is.
We'll know a lot about the team going in. And hopefully it's not a rock fight against, like whoever they got, if it's Binghamton, game 1. Just come out,
Smoke them,
beat Binghamton like you're Syracuse and they're Binghamton.
And I think that's why they have the schedule the way that they have it. I think that is very much the plan.
Lemoyne wasn't exactly daunting last year.
I know.
Who was the other one that went to
Youngstown
overtime?
State. I know.
That was daunting.
Yep.
Yeah, I think they could benefit too from playing some exhibition games against better competition. Because remember, the exhibitions last year were Slippery Rock, and I'm forgetting the other one, but it was like, wow, Jaquan Carlos looks amazing. This team looks great, but we didn't really have any actual takeaways. So that might put them in a better position if they go about it that way.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is very much the philosophy, is to get out, smash those teams early, and then you go out to Vegas and you see what you can do, and you hope that it goes better than last year. Although, again, the losing to Texas and Texas Tech by a couple of possessions, Clarion was the other one last year. I was just looking that up. Losing to Texas and Texas Tech by a couple of possessions turned out to not be that bad at the end of the day, but things fell apart.
You got to win those games.
No, I know.
You got to win them.
Box out Chris Bell.
Got to win big games. They did not win a big game last year.
No.
In other news, did you guys follow at all the Tommy Castellanos comments about Alabama from earlier in the year? Okay, so he's now the quarterback at Florida State, which I thought was kind of a weird decision from Florida State. I mean, Tommy Castellanos was the QB at BC, didn't get along with Bill O'Brien, was basically benched in the second half of the season. That kind of started in the Syracuse game last year. Florida State is playing Alabama in week 1, and he made comments that kind of went viral about a month ago saying, we're not really worried about them. They don't have Nick Saban to save them anymore. And obviously that's going to be a very big game for Alabama and Florida State, 2 programs that are trying to get off on the right track after kind of down years for them last year. Castellanos was asked about that at Media Day earlier this morning. And he said, we stand on what I said. I said what I said, and we stand on that. I don't mean no disrespect to none of those guys at Alabama or anything like that. I have confidence in my guys, blah, blah, blah. But I just feel like this is going to backfire on Florida State, and Alabama is going to be even hungrier to go against them now. So I'm just not optimistic on the whole Florida State thing this year.
Yeah, odd that you would give your opponent some bulletin board material at this stage.
We saw how easy it is to get a team fired up with bulletin board material last year.
Georgia Tech,
Brent Key said he didn't really remember.
Fran. So like it's something that simple, and it wasn't even done on purpose. I don't think. I think he was just talking. I don't think he was trying to slight Fran Brown, and it worked to get Syracuse fired up. This is basically just walking up and punching him right in the gut and saying, "Here you go."
Yeah, I don't know why you would do that. I really don't. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Especially to Alabama, of all programs. I'm sure they'll be ready to go regardless.
They do not have Nick Saban. That is a correct factual statement, though.
Real quick, we've got Dominique Darius coming in. Do we want to get to Nicole Levy?
Yeah, I thought that was neat to see. I mean, she was added to the women's lacrosse staff yesterday, and I think that was kind of an obvious hire once they announced Reggie Thorpe. Nicole Levy, great player for Syracuse not that long ago, and has been down in Florida working with the Gators and Reggie Thorpe there, so they clearly had a great relationship. I think she'll probably be the offensive coordinator. That's not confirmed, but I'm sure she'll have a say in offense and just cool to have her back on campus and helping out the Orange women's lacrosse team.
Yeah, served as the offensive coordinator of Colorado, then went to Florida for 3 years, where she obviously worked closely with Reggie Thorpe. And you're right, seemed like a no-brainer to bring her back here. Interestingly enough, she played with Kayla Trainer when she was here, so there's there's that whole connection as well. But nice to see Reggie Thorpe keeping it in the family, and I know she sounds like anyway she's very excited to get back here. All right,
Dateline,
kicker.
Texas.
Yes.
When a devastating storm hit landfall in Louisiana and Texas in 2017, a dog named Blue went missing after the fence at her home in Corpus Christi, Texas was destroyed. She was last month found 8 years later, walking all alone 300 miles away from her home in Waco. She had a chip. She was found. She is now returned home to her family 300 miles away after 8 years of living on the street.
See, going back to the roots of animals, you can't go wrong with animals.
It's got to be you get your dog back 8 years later. It's got to be crazy. This lady is torn up seeing her dog for the first time in 8 years.
Yeah. That's a good story. That tugs at the heartstrings.
Thank you. That was my job. I need to tug at the heartstrings every once in a while.
All right, Tim, thank you. Good job. We've got Dominique Darius from the SU women's basketball team set to join us on the other side. We're back after this on ESPN Radio.
I would say you'll probably have to do another segment. Liv said,
All right, why don't we do our final segment?
I gotta put in there like there's some. I figured he said it might be tight, like more towards 140. So yeah, I mean, no, you're fine. I said there's that Phillips leftover sound, or like talk about
Well, it's a week away. I'm not going to pick it. We'll do it. That's hysterical, Gaper. What a dick. Jordan's on vacation, by the way. Someone asked that earlier.
Okay. All right.
I am going to make us vote on it.
What do you want to talk about here?
I don't know.
Do you want to pull the Jim Phillips down about tournament expansion or college football playoff? I feel like we can talk about those two things.
Hey, just settle down. Give me a second. I can't work like I was writing Artist of the Day stuff. Can't work with you rushing me. Yeah. Yesterday was the 22nd. He said the ACC basketball wasn't good enough. And playoffs. We got 3 kits from him. Flying high again, Steve. Ozzy Osbourne, Artist of the Day. We broached. One of the BR words.
Broached the subject.
Yes. It's a hat, it's a brooch, it's a pterodactyl. I was just talking about that yesterday. That's my favorite line from Airplane. It's a hat, it's a brooch, it's a pterodactyl. ACC men's basketball has had a little bit of a problem the past couple years, and the commissioner is aware of it.
I am restless with ACC men's basketball, and I'm responsible for it. I feel responsibility for it, but it's not good enough where it is right now. And I know our coaches feel the same way. And I felt like going to 18 games allowed us a chance to play 2 more competitive non-conference games and give us a chance to have a greater winning percentage in some of the metrics that they use to select teams.
Restless.
Steve.
It's a good word. Yeah.
Adding the 18 teams, he said you could get 2 more competitive games that'll help you in the metrics. Syracuse has 2 games left. Would you say their schedule right now has added enough games to help them with the metrics? I mean, none of these are by their choice, Houston, Kansas, or Tennessee.
I mean, they've got 4. Again, I'm going to throw a 4th one in there with the last one in Vegas.
St. Joe's?
Well, no, I was going to say Houston, Kansas, and then whoever that TBD
but
is.
There's no guarantee that's going. It could be 2-0 and 2 teams.
It could be, but I think. Listen, you look at the field, though, there's a pretty good chance you're going to play somebody pretty good.
Yeah, but you could also get a team that is bad.
I guess.
Like,
I don't know if anybody out there is bad per se.
No, you could be. Like, if Syracuse was in it last year, they could have easily been.
I guess. Yeah.
It happens.
I guess. So are you saying...
Do they need to add one more Power 5?
That's where I thought you were going with this. Do they need to? Again, I think any schedule is like this schedule could be good enough to get them in the tournament if they're able to go out and win
but
some
you
games.
have to win them.
Right. Do you want to give yourself another opportunity to win? That's also, an opportunity to, a game that you might be underdogs in, you could very well lose it as well. My answer is I don't think they have to necessarily add another marquee game.
What if they added another St. Joe's type team at home?
So I think there's a reason that there aren't too many of those on this schedule, right? It's St. Joe's and maybe, I guess, Drexel is kind of that game. It's it's a dangerous game, right?
It is.
I don't know if you want that. I think you either... Based on what we see with this schedule, it seems like they've taken the philosophy of they are scheduling teams they know they're going to hammer, and they're scheduling teams that are upper echelon, and there's not much in the middle. And I think that there's not much in the middle on purpose, for like a Colgate type situation where, it's a dangerous game. You don't get any credit really if you win, but if you lose or it's close, it hurts you.
Well, I think you got to go better than Colgate.
No, but I'm saying
like a Dayton or something like that.
I'm saying if you look at last year's schedule, yeah, those are dangerous games though. Like you better go out and win them.
Colgate doesn't necessarily help you if you beat them. Beating a Bonnie's or a Dayton or someone like that could help you. So if you go into the ACC play with wins against the Bonnies, Drexel, St. Joe's, and maybe the other team in the tournament, you've got wins still that are okay.
So you said you schedule a game like that at home, and I guess my point is I don't think it's a coincidence that Drexel and St. Joe's are both at neutral site because you get more credit with those games if it's a neutral site. If you play a game like that at home, again, my point is that becomes a dangerous game. Like losing to Colgate at home is disastrous.
I get that.
So if you lose to a team like that, like if you lose to Dayton at home, that becomes a really bad loss. At the end
I
of
don't
the day.
know that it's as bad as losing to Colgate.
Well, no, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
From
That's
the
why
net
I'm
perspective,
telling
it's
you.
not. But I'm saying that it becomes a dangerous game. Like you better go out and win that one. Is my point. Like it could be close and you can win it, but you better not lose that game. So I don't know because again, based on what we're seeing, the philosophy seems like schedule teams at home you know that you can hammer, and then the rest are neutral site against better opponents.
Yeah. I think I'd want one better opponent. Not even better, just, a lower tier, either a Big East school or an A-10 school at home.
Okay. And like I said, you better win it.
Yeah.
And if you don't, then it's going to end up hurting you.
But isn't that why they did this? That's why they added 18, so you get more
right, but you're
chances
saying
at good wins, not bad wins.
Well, right, but you're saying, like, I don't know if you schedule a middle-of-the-road team that you're better than, I think you might be better off scheduling a team that you would be an underdog against at home and then take a swing at them and, and give yourself another opportunity at a really marquee win. That's my point, is that I don't know. Is it better to schedule a quad 2 or 3 game that you should win, that because, like, if you lose it, it's going to hurt you? Or do you schedule a game that
I think
is going to be a quad 1 win?
I get that. I think it's got to be either a quad 1 or a quad 2 team they put in the dome.
Okay. All right. If it's truly quad 1 or quad 2, then it wouldn't hurt you that wouldn't hurt you that bad.
I think that, but I don't think they will.
Doesn't seem like it based on what we've seen for the schedule to date, but we'll have to wait and see. They've got 2 dates, 2 opponents to fill. All right. We had promised Dominique Darius at 1:30. She was just getting out of class, so we're expecting her to be here any minute. We will take our.
Let's do one more soundbite really quick. Let's do quickly. One thing that could help Syracuse is an expansion of the tournament, and Jim Phillips hit on that.
I always like additional access for teams and for schools when it's the right time and when it's the right tournament and format. So we'll look at it. Overall, I would say, as I've talked with our coaches and listened to some of the feedback, our men's coaches are more in favor of expansion. Our women's coaches are more against expansion. So it's almost like a split in the conference.
Why do you suppose the coaches on the women's side are against it?
I don't know.
Any coach would want more spots because it's better for your job security if you make the tournament. Right. I mean, you can certainly make the case there's more parity in the men's game, but and maybe you don't want to water down the women's game, but still, like as a coach, I would think that you would want as many spots as possible so you can make the tournament.
Yeah. I mean, but it would water the women's tournament down just because there's such a huge. It shrunk, but the gap between the ones and the
there's more parity now, but they still need to make some strides.
You get past a 9 seed, and there's very rarely upsets.
Yeah, no, that's fair. And I think I'm in the minority here. I don't really mind the expansion, even on the men's side. Like,
I like it.
I don't
as long as it's going to schools like bigger schools. I like that.
Well, I think that's the whole idea is they want to work in the power conferences and get more of those teams in. And then some people will say, well, that, why are you rewarding mediocrity? there's so many good teams now.
Yeah.
There's so many teams that can go on a run if they just get an opportunity. I mean, you look at North Carolina last year; they snuck in and they were very dangerous early on in the tournament. So I don't know. There are a lot of examples of teams that sneak in and then go on a run. I'm fine if they add another 8 teams to a Dayton type situation. Give us 4 more games and make it truly a play-in game. Have those 11 seeds. Maybe the 11 seeds all play each other. The 10 seeds all play each other to play their way into the bracket. Or keep it the way it is now, where you've got a couple of those 16s going at it. But I don't think it's going to water it down too much. I would like to see it. All right, Dominique Darius will join us on the other side. We'll wrap up the show with SU women's basketball. Back after this on ESPN Radio. Yeah, that's fine.
Right.
Yeah, I can cheat it a little bit. Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Okay.
We were
Figuring some things out here. Okay, that's fine.
I'll bring her in.
All right. Deal.
Want to do a year of the day of the month when we come back?
I would love it. I missed that.
What year would you like? I'll let you pick the year. What's your favorite year? What year did you win the title?
94.
1994 will be our. Have we done that one?
I don't know. I am being inducted into our team's being inducted in Bishop Blood and Hall.
Well, All for One was
Oh, how about that?
number 2. Let's do that. Ace of Base owned.
Yeah, wow.
Owned 19.
Good year for Ace of Base.
Yeah,
3 in the top 10.
Yeah. Play all of them on Sunny now. Bump and Grind. Yeah, 94 is a good one. What a Man by Salt and Pepper and In Vogue. Yeah, I don't think we've done this one. Oh, Regulate. Get out. Get out.
When Can I See You Again, Babyface? That's not a good bump back, but I do like that song a lot.
Because the Night by 10,000 Maniacs. I love that song too.
So I have to tell you now what I want my song
No,
to be?
you
Okay.
can pick. We got a week. Tevin Campbell.
Where is he? I'm not seeing.
I'm ready.
Oh,
I
okay.
like Round and Round by him. Linger
Yeah.
by the Cranberries. Get Out of Here, 1994.
Meatloaf.
What Meatloaf song? I'd do anything for
I'd
love.
do anything for love. But
Rock
I
and Roll
won't do
Dreams
that.
Come Through also was a hit that year. Oh, Mr. Vane by Culture Beat. We played that yesterday. Here comes the Hot Stepper.
Keep Your Head Up by Tupac.
Wow. I'll Take You There from the movie Threesome. Steve couldn't watch that movie. It was called Threesome. We end with Crazy Train. We go on vacation tomorrow. We'll be back next Wednesday. We're doing a wrap around. I almost just said something. A wrap around vacation, Steve, as the kids would call it. Figured you were going on vacation, so I should probably just take them too. So
Need a few days.
You guys will miss us, I'm sure.
Need a few days. My daughter, as you know, is getting ready to move to New York City. So this is a tough time for Dad. I'm not going to lie. So,
I get it.
Yeah. So yeah, it's I'm excited for her. But as a dad, my little girl's moving away. So it's
I wish I could move away from you.
Just go to jail for $5 million.
Oh, that sounds glorious.
For a year.
I wonder if they would let me do the show from my cell. You just set up a webcam and do the show. What if you could do that? What if you could do? They put up a.
And
green...
you're the only person I see.
No. What if they put up a green screen? You could do the sports and everything from in there too.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm trying to pitch this to you.
I don't.
$5 million. What if you asked your wife?
I don't want any part of it. I don't want.
What do you think your wife would tell you to do if that opportunity came up?
Here's the thing. So I see people like yesterday were saying in the chat like I'm soft or whatever, and I know they're like half joking, but just because like money is not the top priority in my life, like why does
it's
that make
easy money?
No, but it's not though. You're giving up a year of your life.
Don't you give up 8 hours of every day of your life for your job?
But like I find my work rewarding. Like I enjoy my job.
Oh, I can read books. That's rewarding. I could go out and I'll get a degree while I'm in there. Go sit and read books.
You were just talking the other day, and earlier in this show as well. You were like, "Oh, if I make it to Ozzy's age, I've got 23 years left," or whatever you said. Mm-hmm. You want to waste one of those 23 just for money?
Yeah, because then I got 22 with $5 million.
Okay. You're not going to convince me. Like, I don't want to do it.
I'm interested to see if this opportunity came up and you said no, what your wife's reaction would be. Would you think she'd be like, whatever you think is best? Or would she say, no way in hell are you leaving me with a kid alone?
It's my decision. I don't want to do it.
Those last 22 years with $5 million are a lot better than working till I'm 68 and having Social Security for...
Do you enjoy what you do for a living?
I love this.
Okay, so you wouldn't be able to do it anymore.
Okay. I'm never getting $5 million out of this job.
But money's not everything. That's my point.
It is, but it's a lot of things.
It can buy you a lot of things. You can't buy your year back, though.
No, but I could go twice as hard for 1 year.
Okay,
with $5 million. I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird. A lot of people on my chat said they would do it.
No, I don't think you're weird. I'm clearly in the minority based on the comments that we're seeing. But
most of the people that I put it up on my Facebook, I said, hey, would you do this? And most of them, all the single people were like, without a doubt, I would do it. More of the people who had kids and wives and husbands said, I
can't even imagine that. Like, again, with my son's 5 right now. And
yeah, I don't have that.
And my daughter's moving to New York City. Emma's moving to New York City. It's just, I can't imagine just like missing out on a year of their lives and a year of my life just for money. I don't know.
All right. Everybody has a price. Someone in the chat says, what price would it take you? How many millions of dollars would it take?
That is like a year of your life. You can't put a price on that. Is my point.
What number would they say you would just be like, okay, that's stupid money. I can't turn it around.
I don't think it's a number of money. I think it would be the number how long I had to be there.
No.
So if you said it's not a year, it's 6 months, or like we could debate that, but I don't think I don't know. Like you're saying, like $1 billion. Like, I mean, okay. But I mean, everybody has a price. I don't know. This is so absurd to talk about because it would, it would never happen.
I know, that's the fun in life. That's why you do things like this.
Okay. If you
Ryan
say
Mullen
so.
says none of us would make it 60 days. If I'm in my own cell, I'm fine. If I have a cellmate, I can't do it.
You couldn't do it in real life, like
house arrest. Yes, I could do house arrest.
No, I'm saying with someone else, you wouldn't want to.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's I don't want to be like because you don't know, and in a jail situation, the people would be rotating in because it's not prison. You wouldn't have like one person. It would be a different person every time.
Thank God we don't have to. Thank God we don't have to talk about this anymore because our guest has arrived.
We'll bring it up next Wednesday.
I can't wait.
$5 million a year in prison, jail. I would do it in a second.
Okay, I would not. Dominique Darius is joining us here, and I'm glad she's late because that shows that she's serious about her studies. She was in class.
Yes.
So, what class were you late for? What classes are you taking?
It's screenwriting and production.
Oh, nice.
In Newhouse TRF program right now. Yeah.
Excellent. What do you want to like? What do you want to do when basketball's over?
I've talked about this a few times. I think where I'm gearing more towards is probably having my own media company.
Nice.
I just love creating content and doing YouTube and podcasts and things like that. So I think that's kind of where my interest is gonna fall. So.
I got to ask you because I know it's going to come up in the chat. It came up in the chat the other day. They said, "Will she take Steve's class?" So I teach a class in Newhouse for sports reporting and anchoring.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Is that something that you would be interested in? Will I potentially see you in the spring?
Maybe if it aligns with my schedule, only because I don't think I want to go broadcasting route.
Gotcha.
But I mean, I'd always stop by.
Let me tell you this: it's an automatic A.
You say that, but that's not true. We've had a few people on who did not get an A in the class.
No, he's pretty good.
If you work hard, it's an A. And
that's fair.
I have a feeling you work hard.
I do.
Being a Division I athlete and where you've gotten. So, talk to us about your basketball journey and how you ended up. How'd you end up here at Syracuse?
Oh, it's a long journey. But to summarize it, committed to UCLA out of high school, then transferred to USC. Didn't work out like my last year. Got my degree though, and just kind of wanted a new environment. Wanted to be closer to family because I'm really from the East Coast. Family's on the East Coast, and it just kind of worked out perfectly. Coach Jack actually really recruited me hard coming out of high school. Didn't go just because, no disrespect to Buffalo, but, and it just didn't work out. And I think, how the full circle came around, especially with my dad playing at Syracuse and my mom being from Syracuse. And it's just kind of full circle moment. But I mean, my journey's been ups and downs, but I think it's really just prepared me to just be here where my feet are at right now and just, ready to have a big season at Syracuse.
And it is no disrespect to Buffalo because we had Coach Jack on a couple weeks ago and your name came up and she said exactly what you said. We recruit her very hard, but let's be honest, she wasn't coming to Buffalo. So she didn't take offense to it. And she obviously still thinks very highly of you. Awesome. Give us a scouting report on your game if you had to kind of describe the type of player you are.
I mean, I consider myself a 3-level scorer. I can read the floor really well. Like I know what we need when we need it. I know how to get my teammates involved. I would consider myself more of a playmaker, more than just like a point guard or a scoring guard, just because I can do both. On the defensive end, I love to bring the intensity, start the press or start the defensive pressure to make sure that our opponents are not comfortable. And then I think ultimately I'm just a leader on the court. I have a big voice, and I've been in college for 4 or 5 years, so I kind of know like what's needed from a coach, from a team standpoint. I've been at really big winning programs, so. I just have a lot of experience with that, and I'm just here to win, so I'm just really passionate.
You brought up your dad went here, your mom is from here. What was their reaction to the fact that you were coming to Syracuse?
So initially, they're just excited that I'm in a situation where I'm happy, and I'm being valued. But I think after that, they were just ecstatic just because it's so close to home. And a lot of the people that were here when my dad played, from the equipment managers or just people on the football staff. And, Coach Fran is actually knows my dad because they grew up in the same hometown in Camden, New Jersey. And just to know that people around me, you know, that they trust were here, and they were just ecstatic. Honestly, obviously, I think for them, selfishly, it's because where they're from or where they played, but overall, they just cared about me being happy.
I know Liv told you this, but way back when I first started doing radio here, me and your dad were doing a show together, and we both were learning on the fly. We'd never done talk radio before, and we were kind of figuring it out together. I haven't talked to him in a few years, I'll be honest with you, but I love your dad.
Yes.
What's he up to now? Bring us up to date.
He's retired now, and honestly, I would consider he's just a girl dad. So my other two sisters, we are doing different things. My sister works in NFL films, and he just really supportive for us. He's actually in New Jersey right now. He was just up here a few weeks ago to help me move in, and he's just living his best life, honestly, fishing, bowling. He's just learning all these random skills, and I think he's just enjoying retirement. I'm just happy for him, and he's just kind of there for me for whatever I need: wisdom, knowledge, support, encouragement. And he's just such a great supporting cast that I have in my life. So he's just enjoying life.
With you here now, are we going to see him a little bit more on campus?
Oh, for sure.
For sure, right?
He's going to be at a lot of games.
Yeah.
A lot of games. Probably some away games too, but definitely home games. He'll be here.
What has he told you about? You said both your parents have ties to this area. I mean, what have they told you about Syracuse and Central New York and the winters here? It's going to be much different than UCLA and USC.
Oh yeah, I'm already knowing. I mean, honestly, my dad just told me to take advantage of being here. I'm only here for 1 year. He was just saying, really invest yourself into the community like he did. He was just always giving praise to just the people that work here, that are from here, the community here. And he just really wants me to take advantage of every opportunity I have and just enjoying it, being in the moment. Obviously, basketball is like the priority, but at the same time, build connections, build relationships with your professors, with your coaches, with classmates, and people that ultimately will take you throughout your career and even after your career. So really just building those strong relationships.
I know you've been working out with the team here for a few weeks now. Everybody seems to be back on campus.
Mm-hmm.
What are your impressions of this squad that you've got?
Yeah, we're going to be good. I've been at 2 top programs, and I've seen high-level players, even with myself, and just we work. Like, I think that's been the recipe for success at the programs I've been at. Just work. You just put your head down, you work, and I think on top of that, you have fun while you do it. There's times where we're running a mile, we're running 200s, we're running 400s, and it sucks, but there's no shortcut to work. And just the fact that we enjoy it being there, and we enjoy holding each other accountable and just having fun, and even with the hard stuff, that is what kind of pushes you through February, which is probably the hardest time of the season because you're at that end point. So definitely just we're workers for sure.
We've had a couple of the returning players on the show, and we've asked them how difficult is it to mesh with, I think there's 8 newcomers on the team this year, 4 transfers, 4 freshmen. Mm-hmm. I want to get the perspective of one of the newcomers. I mean, how hard is it to mesh with, there's so many new faces coming into a situation where you've already got, 7 ladies here that have been established.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about that dynamic, and is it a challenge?
I wouldn't call it a challenge. I think the hardest part is probably just building chemistry on the court, honestly, because I think ultimately if everybody just shows up for who they are, we are going to love and respect everybody. So I think for myself, my personal experience for being on different teams, I just show up as myself, and then I just kind of learn about my teammates individually, one-on-one, we have dinner and just go out to eat with teammates just to learn about them. But ultimately, it takes its course. Through the season, you just learn more and more about your teammates, and it unravels, and you just build this bond. And I wouldn't say it's hard. I think the hardest part is just putting everything together.
You told us a little bit about what you're studying. Tell us a little bit more about Dominique away from basketball, a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I have a podcast, I have a YouTube channel, and I'm just really passionate about telling stories. I kind of mentioned that I do, YouTube and things like that, but I really started because I just wanted people to kind of learn about my journey. I've been through a lot as an athlete and just in life, and I feel like those life lessons I wanted to tell other people and just share. And so my YouTube channel is really just to inspire, bring people along the journey. I know this year is going to be a really big year, and I'm excited about it, but knowing the steps and the obstacles I had to come through. And then the podcast side, I just love telling other people's stories. I know people are interested about, what I've been through, but it's bring other athletes and potentially coaches on there and just interviewing them and learning about their journey.
Where can people find your stuff?
So Beyond the Jersey on YouTube, also have Apple Podcasts, and then my YouTube channel is just Dominique Alexis Darius.
All right, Dominique, we're running a little bit short here on time. It was a pleasure meeting with you, though.
Thank you guys for having me.
I look forward to chatting with you more here as things move along. Best of luck throughout the rest of the summer.
Appreciate you guys.
Dominique Darius joining us here. We got to go. We're going to take a few days off. We will be back with you on Wednesday. Enjoy the rest of the week, everybody.